Man, I feel like this is gonna be one of the best years in video games. Just every week, non-stop crazy stuff is happening with video games, and I'm excited to talk about it. Excited to report on it. Before I do that, do me a favor, you guys. Like the video if you like the video. Please consider subscribing if you like content like this. With that, let's get right into this. Let's start things off big, like we always do with Nintendo. We know what Nintendo does. They always come out with the bangers, and this week we had the Tears of the Kingdom preview, and it was just awesome to see tons of new information from tons of different media outlets, tons of different opinions. Overall, everyone was very excited and very happy about a lot of the new stuff in the game. We saw a bunch of different ways that a lot of people figured out how to solve specific obstacles, and I feel like that's just going to be the name of the game, right? I feel like they're going to throw you in a bunch of different obstacles, and with the abilities, you're just going to be able to craft and create your own way through it. And it's going to be really interesting to see a lot of the cool and fun different ways people are going to be able to like figure out puzzles and shrines or dungeons, whatever they have in this game. What I think is going to be really funny and really interesting was seeing the different ways people are able to come up with the same results. I think it's going to be a nightmare for whoever has to come up with walkthroughs for this game, because I feel like there's no one way to do it, so it's just gonna be however you can figure it out kind of thing. There was some back and forth between some of the different news outlets, some people debating whether or not dungeons are actually in the game. Gene Park from the Washington Post said that he was turned away from one of the Nintendo Treehouse employees. He was turned away from a specific area that looked like there was a dungeon, and they told him he wasn't able to go there. Some other people were saying that that wasn't a dungeon, that it was just a different area of the map. So it's just really exciting to see that even though people were able to get their hands on the actual game, they weren't able to still come out with some concrete ideas as to what the full scope of the game is going to be. So it's just going to be really exciting when reviews come out or when people finally get their hands on this game. And I'm just super excited for this. One of the things that a lot of people did note, however, was that the frame rate wasn't a hindrance on the game, but it was definitely very noticeable that it wasn't even running at full 30 all the time. And I feel like that's kind of be expected at this point in the Nintendo Switch's life. We're pretty much used to it and accustomed to the fact that the Nintendo Switch hardware isn't going to run these big open world games at a solid 30. It's going to dip between 20s and 15s. As long as it doesn't hinder the actual experience of the game, I think we'll be fine. But definitely, I feel like it's gonna play a factor in the game of the year conversation. There's gonna be some people who are gonna walk away from it not being fully immersed into the open world, as much as I think Nintendo would hope. But overall, I mean, glowing reviews of the preview. Everyone was pretty much walked away from it excited. It did nothing to make me want the game more. It just re-solidified that, yeah, I'm getting this game day one and I'm gonna have a blast playing through this game. Nintendo did confirm that they will be attending Gamescom 2023 in Germany this year, and this is really exciting because Nintendo hasn't really been a part of these kind of events in a really long time. So it's really exciting to see they're going to be there in person. And I think a lot of speculation are, if Tears of the Kingdom is out and Pikmin is out, in August, what does Nintendo have to show us that's going to be exciting? And I never count Nintendo out. Nintendo's always going to have games in the pipeline. They're always going to be pushing out some of the best products ever. There was a lot of speculation and maybe hoping and wishing that they would be showing some kind of successor to the Nintendo Switch, some kind of hardware, whether it be a Switch Pro, Switch 2. There's no actual proof of any of this. People are just kind of hoping this happens. I mean, Nintendo being at an in-person event is definitely uncharacteristic for Nintendo, so they probably have something really big to show off. I'm thinking maybe they show off Metroid Prime 4, maybe they show off a new Mario game, maybe they show off like a new trailer for the next movie or something. I feel like everything is possible for Nintendo right now, and I'm not ruling out the possibility of them showing off hardware either. I will also like to add that this is further proof that Jeff Keighley knows what he's doing when it comes to these kind of live events. He seems to be the only person to get actual publishers and game developers to show up to his events. And the fact that he was able to get Nintendo to confirm, especially this early on, just proves that, I mean, Jeff Keighley knows what he's doing, and I have faith that he's going to be doing some awesome stuff with the Game Awards, with Gamescom, and with Summer Games Fest coming up. Nintendo also confirmed their next game coming to their free trial. This is Cadence of Hyrule. This is going to be available from May 1st to May 7th, available to play for free as a free trial. If you're unfamiliar with Cadence of Hyrule, this is a rhythm-based Legend of Zelda game developed by the people who brought you Crypto the Necrodancer. This is a very interesting take on the Legend of Zelda series, but it is coming out. The free trial is coming out at a very perfect time, where we have the sequel to Crypto the Necrodancer, Rift of the Necrodancer, releasing sometime soon, as well as the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So this is very much on brand with Nintendo to be showing us this game right now as a free trial. I've never actually played this game. I have seen it, so I'm definitely gonna try the free trial, and then if I like it, I'll probably give it a purchase at the 50% off. Speaking of free games, the next games for the month of May on PlayStation have been released. So if you're a PS Plus subscriber, you're going to get Grid Legends, Chivalry 2, and Descenders available to download for free from May 2nd until June 6th. I don't think this is the best group of games that have came to PS Plus. I will say though that Grid Legends is a really fun game. Chivalry 2 and Descenders, I have no idea what they are, but it's a nice addition, but they're not really anything to celebrate or anything. But if you're interested, definitely check them out. In some very welcomed but unsurprising news, the sequel to Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon 3, whatever it might be called, has been pretty much hinted at by Guerrilla Games. There's been some shakeup at the leadership on Guerrilla Games. So Angie Smets, who was studio director and executive producer on the Horizon series, moved up to PlayStation Studios, where she'll be leading as head of development and strategy. So super exciting to see. Definitely well deserved from Angie Smets. And I think it's very exciting to see this team that Sony purchased a while ago, Guerrilla Games, kind of moving up and proving themselves amongst all the PlayStation studios as a really solid game studios that can produce some really awesome things. I was first introduced to Guerrilla Games with Killzone, and I really miss Killzone, but it's exciting to see that PlayStation has a lot of faith in what Guerrilla Games is doing with this new franchise Horizon that they've kind of built out in this world that they can kind of dive into. So it's very exciting to see pretty much what's next for Guerrilla Games, what's next for the Horizon franchise, and I'm just overall very excited. Something that is very disappointing is that the DLC release of Burning Shores for Horizon Forbidden West released earlier this week, and it came to really good critical reviews, but then it received very negative user reviews from people who were very upset and essentially trying to review bomb the game just because Aloy, who's a female character, ended up kissing one of the other female characters in one of the very optional storylines, which pretty much meant that Aloy is a part of the LGBTQ community. So a lot of people were very upset, claiming woke. This did lead to Metacritic, however, saying that they're going to be working on how they moderate all their abusive comments for their video game reviews from their users. It's just sad that in 2023 we still kind of have this issue. I feel like it is more common now, but yeah. I feel like we're rarely talking good news when it comes to Xbox, and it's just more bad news. In what seemed like a lock, it seemed like Microsoft was officially going to be purchasing Activision Blizzard. Out of left field, out of nowhere, the CMA blocked the deal. They said pretty much that Xbox already held a lion's share of the cloud-based gaming industry, and if they were to purchase Activision Blizzard, they would own an even larger portion, and this would pretty much stop innovation within the cloud-based community, and a whole lot of other stuff that they pretty much said is just harmful to the UK consumers out there. Whether that's true or not, who knows? I know Xbox did say that they're going to be challenging this. They're going to be pursuing this even further. I just want something good to happen to Xbox at this point. I don't even care if they buy Activision Blizzard or not. I just want them to understand where their next step is. I kind of want them to just go back to making games at this point. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have a whole nother year of this. Star Wars Jedi Survivor released today, and the Metacritic score, at least for PlayStation 5, was very strong at an 86. So that's awesome to see. I did pick up my copies today, and I do look forward to playing that. It did, however, release to some very poor performance on PC, and I feel like this is just becoming more and more a common trend with PC. They just can't really seem to get games running right for these PCs. Hopefully this is a trend that stops soon, because I know PC players are definitely getting very tired of purchasing these games. Very buggy and very not ready for PC. So here's hoping that changes. Dead Island 2 was a game that was in development hell for the longest time. It finally released last week, and it had nothing impressive, but I think everyone was just excited the fact that the game was playable, it was fun. If anything else, it wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst either. But it feels like all of this is paying off with their 1 million sold in its first weekend sales, which is very impressive for a game like this. It's very impressive to see that even though the game didn't come out with crazy reviews or anyone really touting it as one of the best games, people did look forward to it, and it just shows that if you make a game that's just bare bones fun, people will buy it. And I can already tell this is going to be a game that people are going to be buying pretty much throughout the year. I don't think anyone's going to be raving about it, but it will sell if nothing else. And hey, maybe a Dead Island 3 eventually comes out in 10 years. What was probably the most hype thing I saw this week, got me super excited, Armored Core. This was a game that was pretty much announced at the Game Awards last year. And we finally got our first official gameplay trailer of it, and it looks amazing. Like, I've never played Armored Core before, but I am so excited and I'm so down to play Armored Core 6. From Software is a game developer that I feel like has just been on a roll lately. From their Dark Souls to Demon Souls, Sekiro, and Elden Ring, they've just been dropping bangers at the bangers at the bangers. And I'm not even a big fan of the Souls games. I do understand, however, that From Software knows how to make games that are fun, that are engaging, that the combat is like so impressive. And seeing the gameplay trailer of this is just, I'm just so excited for this. What's even more exciting is that we got an announcement date of August 25th, and this just adds another amazing game to the lineup this year. We got Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy 16, we got Armored Core. Like, this is just going to be an amazing year for games. I'm super excited to see what the game of the year is going to be turning out to be, because I feel like at this point anyone can take it. It's anyone's game right now. And I will say, however, though, if you're a fan of From Software, from like their Souls games, this is not going to be a Souls game. It's going to play completely different. So if you're looking for like a mech Souls game, this is not going to be it. Wait for reviews, wait for a demo or something, and then decide to hop in. However, I'm completely sold on this one. I love mechs, I love Gundam, I love things like this. So I'm definitely hopping into this day one. Well, those are the last topics we had for this video. Exciting week all in all. Definitely look forward to some more exciting things happening next week. At this point, it just feels like every week is just coming out with some very exciting topics, some very exciting looking games, demos, and all kinds of stuff. Who knows what next week's going to bring us. With that, let me know down below, you guys, if you're excited for Armored Core 6, if you bought Dead Island 2, or anything else you guys want to just say. With that, I'll see you guys in the next video.